Welcome back to the American Family Survival Network. I'm your host, Jeffrey Snipes, and this is 26 incredible facts about the economy that every American should know for the upcoming Trump-Clinton debates. We've had one so far. We've got two more to go. Thank you to Michael Snyder over at the Economic Collapse blog for writing this article. Are you ready for the most anticipated presidential debates in decades? It is being projected that Monday's debates between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton could potentially break the all-time record of 80 million viewers that watched Ronald Reagan and Jimmy Carter's debate back in 1980. As we know, it did. Many Americans probably hope to see some personal fireworks between the two nominees. Not so much. Definitely wish we would have seen some more of those coming from Trump, but I think he was reserved and tried to treat Hillary Clinton like a lady, although I'd be hard-pressed to consider her to be a lady. Not even maybe a human being, for that matter. But anyway, many Americans probably hope to see some personal fireworks between the two nominees, but the two candidates have both expressed a desire to focus on substantive issues. There will likely be quite a few questions about the economy, and without a doubt, this is an area where Trump and Clinton have some very sharp differences. The mainstream media would have us believe that the U.S. economy is in pretty good shape, but we know better, right? Yep, absolutely. And if that was true, that would seem to favor Clinton. But is it actually true? No, not at all. The following are 26 incredible facts about the economy that every American needs to know before watching the Trump-Clinton debates. Number one, when Barack Obama entered the White House, the U.S. government was $10.6 trillion in debt. Today, the government is $19.5 trillion in debt, and Obama still has several months to go until the end of his second term. That means that an average of more than $1.1 trillion a year will be added to the national debt during his presidency. We are stealing a tremendous amount of consumption from the future to make the economy look much, much better than it otherwise would be. And we are systematically destroying the future in the process, destroying the future for our children and our children's children. Number two, as Obama prepares to leave office, the rate at which we are adding to the national debt is actually increasing. As insane as that could be. During the fiscal year that is just ending, the U.S. government has added another $1.36 trillion to the national debt. Can you even quantify in your mind what $1 trillion looks like? It's pretty difficult to do. Okay, number three, it isn't just the federal government that is on the massive debt bench. Total U.S. corporate debt, the biggest debt pigs of all, has nearly doubled since the end of 2007. Number four, default rates on U.S. corporate debt, again, the biggest debt pigs of all, are the highest that they have been since the last financial crisis. Number five, corporate profits have fallen for 5 quarters in a row, and it is being projected that it will be 6 in a row once the final numbers for the third quarter come in. Number six, during the month of August, commercial bankruptcy filings were up 29% compared to the same period a year ago. Number seven, the rate of new business formation in the United States dropped dramatically during the last recession and has hovered at that new lower level ever since. Number eight, the Wall Street Journal says that this is the weakest economic recovery since 1949. That's a mainstream media source saying that, so that's pretty right on. The Wall Street Journal. Number nine, the Barack Obama, or the BO as a lot of us know him, is on track to be the only president in all of U.S. history to never have a single year when the U.S. economy grew by at least 3%. Damn, Obama, that's pretty sad. Okay, number 10. In August, the Cass Freight Index dipped to the lowest level that we have seen for that month since 2010. What this means is that the total amount of stuff being shipped around the country by air and by rail and by truck is really dropping, and this is a clear sign that real economic activity is slowing down in a major way. Number 11, capital expenditure growth has turned negative, and history has shown that that is almost always followed by a new recession. Number 12, the percentage of Americans with a full-time job, a jobby job, has been sitting at about 48% since 2010. You have to go back to 1983 to find a time when full-time employment in this country was so low. So what are y'all doing out there, huh? What are y'all doing out there sitting on the curb? Get to work. Okay, so number 13, the labor force participation rate peaked back in 1997 and has been steadily falling ever since. Number 14, the inactivity rate for men in their prime working years is actually higher today than it was during the last recession. Number 15, the United States has lost more than 5 million manufacturing jobs since the year 2000, even though our population has become much larger over that time frame. And number 16, if you can believe it, the total number of government employees now outnumbers the total number of manufacturing employees in the United States by almost 10 million. Talk about people on the government dole. All right. Number 17, one study found that median incomes have fallen in more than 80% of the major metropolitan areas. Metropolitan areas in this country since the year 2000. And number 18, according to the Social Security Administration, 51% of all American workers now make less than $30,000 a year. $30,000 a year? Folks, how do you live on that? I mean, seriously, that's ridiculous. Wow. Number 19, the rate of home ownership in the U.S. has fallen every single year while Barack Obama has been in the White House. Barack, that just isn't good, sir. Mr. President, you've been failing us. Number 19, no, that's number 19. Number 20, approximately 1 out of every 5 young adults are currently living with their parents, and their parents want them out. Number 21, the auto loan debt bubble recently surpassed the $1 trillion mark for the first time ever. You better go get your car, folks, before that bubble bursts. And then there will be no more loans for you to get that brand new car. But it better not get that car if you can't afford it. Okay, number 22, auto loan delinquencies, there you go, are at the highest level that we have seen since the last recession. Number 23, in 1971, 61% of all Americans were considered to be middle class. But now middle class Americans have actually become a minority in this nation. Number 24, one recent survey discovered that 62% of all Americans have less than $1,000 in savings. Poof! Your money goes. You hit a bump, you're out of money. Number 25, according to the Federal Reserve, 47% of all Americans cannot even pay an unexpected $400 emergency room bill without borrowing the money from somewhere or selling something. But folks, don't let that keep you from going to the hospital. You go get taken care of, you understand? You pay that bill when you can. Number 26, the number of New Yorkers sleeping in homeless shelters just set a brand new record high. And the number of families permanently living in homeless shelters is up a whopping 60% over the past 5 years. That's terrible. A place like New York, you know how cold it is in the wintertime? Homeless in New York? Man. Folks, better be taking some coats down to New York City. Okay? The homeless in New York City need coats. They need food. Take care of your people. Take care of each other. We're all God's people. We need to all take care of one another, regardless of race, creed, whatever. If you're alive and you're human, then you're responsible to take care of others that are alive and human. You understand? It's that simple. Don't make it more complicated than that. Otherwise, you're just fooling yourself. I don't mean to start preaching, but I might start preaching. Okay, so despite all of the facts that you just read, or I just read to you, the truth is that there is one particular group of people that have been doing quite well during the Obama years. I really like how Charles Hugh Smith made this point in one of his recent articles. The top 5% of households that dominate government, corporate America, finance, the deep state, and the media have been doing extraordinarily well during the past 8 years of stock market bubble. Oops. I mean boom. Yeah, boom like pop. Just about to happen. And recovery. Yeah, like recovery like empty pocket recovery. And so they report that the economy is doing splendidly because they've done splendidly. Yep. Thanks a lot, jerks. Okay. So anyway, by recklessly creating money out of thin air and pumping it into the financial markets, the Federal Reserve has greatly enriched the elite. One and the same, aren't they? But they have also dramatically increased the gap between the very wealthy and the rest of us. Folks, we're on the Titanic. We're going down. You better find a lifeboat. You understand? Godspeed. Okay. And since he's been in the White House during this time, Barack Obama has gotten the credit for this temporary stock market bubble, and most of the elite love Obama anyway. But in the process, the stage has been set for the greatest economic and financial implosion in U.S. history. Back to that Titanic analogy. And the pain that is coming is going to affect every man, woman, and child in this country. During the debate, Trump and Clinton will talk a lot about tinkering with tax rates and regulations, but those measures are essentially going to be meaningless when compared to the massive economic tsunami that is coming. The next president is going to inherit the biggest economic problems that this nation has ever faced. And it is going to take a miracle of biblical proportions to turn the U.S. economy in the right direction. Not just the U.S. economy, folks, the global economy. Because the U.S. economy controls the global economy. Because we are the dollar is the world's reserve currency. But we'll get into that in another video. But in the meantime, you need to go to the AmericanFamilySurvivalStore.com for all your emergency and family needs. Emergency and survival needs for your family. Remember, let's get serious here for a minute. Protect and safeguard your family. God bless. Fear not. Go to the AmericanFamilySurvivalStore.com today. Thank you.